And we are back from the grocery store. I went to Costco and Walmart. They're right next to each other, so it makes it super easy. And I have now come home with this bountiful harvest of beautiful food. What exactly did I get, you may ask? Everything on my list. I do not step foot into the grocery store if I don't have my list. Before I even leave, I make sure and plan out all the meals that I want for the week. And then I come up with those ingredients. I double check my pantry, make sure I don't already have those on hand. And then I come up with a comprehensive list, and then I feel okay going to the store. Especially right now, I really only want to go to the store once a week. It's less exposure, it reduces my carbon footprint, and it reduces the time I spend in transit. And time is money, folks. So I'm gonna quickly go over the food I've got, and then we will start meal prepping and making this food into delicious meals. I am a peanut butter addict, fiend, enthusiast, all of the above. So I have the powdered peanut butter for just kind of switching things up, and then regular peanut butter. This is my favorite peanut butter of all time. It's the Kirkland brand, and it has no added sugar. So I usually put both of these in this mixer and blend it all together because it's kind of oily. Put it back into its containers so that way it's already mixed. I've got silken tofu in case I want to make a mousse this week. I love dessert, so I probably will. And then I got double broccoli because last time I went to Costco, they didn't have broccoli. So I got some at Walmart just to be safe. So double broccoli, you can never have too much broccoli, or at least I can't. I go through this stuff like it's toilet paper. That's a bad simile, but yeah. Some pecans, I already have some walnuts, but I wanted one more nut to put into my fruit and nut mix that I'm gonna make. Pecans are super good for healthy fats and they just fill you up. I got sweet potatoes and regular potatoes. These just kind of go into everything I make. Sweet potatoes are my favorite and David loves regular potatoes. One cucumber for a high protein snack. This goes into it. This isn't very high in protein on its own. These beautiful radishes, these will be part of my lunches, as well as these big old beets. I not only eat the beet root, but I also eat the beet greens. These are up here, these are a little sad looking, but it's okay. I think some of them are gonna be salvageable, but the main good stuff is in here. It's like really sweet and super good and crunchy. I love it. It'll go in the tofu scramble. Bell peppers are another thing that I can never have too much of on hand. They go in almost every meal that I make. They've got a lot of great micronutrients and they really just add a lot of color to any meal, and that is the goal. Always eat the rainbow. The more color, the more nutrients. I can't eat apples. I wish I could, but I got these for David, so he better get to eating. Carrots, these can be used as a kettlebell. There's so many in here, and I just kind of peel them and eat them throughout the week. They'll also go in the fried rice. Yum. Espinaca. I will, yes indeed, go through this whole bag probably this week. It might last me a week and a half, but usually I will go through a whole bag. I will cook it down and it shrivels and gets so small, and then you're like, this whole bag is like this much. But there's a lot of good nutrients in this as well. Lots of good vitamin C, vitamin A, what have you. More tofu. This is extra firm, and this is going to create the base of my tofu scramble. I prefer the extra firm for this because it acts more like a scrambled egg. And these is my fruit. I'll just eat these through the week as a snack or perhaps dessert. And lastly, this is my little treat. These are so good. What I love more though are the siete chips. I don't know if you've ever had those. They're made with like kavasa flour. Ooh, so good. But these are the next best thing. So I bought these because I'm making a beetroot hummus and I need something to dip it in. Ooh, I also forgot two more things. All the blueberries. Blueberries are one of my favorite fruits now since I can't have apples because that used to be. I got the organic blueberries and some wild blueberries. These are little tiny blueberries and they're so good, especially for dessert with a little sprinkling of, say, peanut butter. So that is the food haul. I have a ton of things in my pantry that are going to add to all of this and make these meals come to life. I've got to get my apron on and shed a layer because it is hot in here. Then we can start meal prepping. I am ready for some cooking. Last week I got my poop in a group with my training schedule and consistent workouts. This week the focus is food. As training has ramped back up, so has my appetite, so I figured it was definitely time to replenish the fridge and start cooking all these meals. If I don't meal prep, I tend to just scavenge. I like to have at least some of my meals chopped up and kind of ready to go that I can put them together quickly or completely ready to go. I like to write out everything so I don't forget to cook anything while I'm meal prepping, and it just gives me a good structure, and then I leave this up in the week so I know what food I have in the fridge and I cross off whatever meals we've already eaten. So I have already set out all of my containers so I can store my food when I'm done cooking it and or prepping it. And then the first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and wash all my vegetables. This way they'll be clean and ready for chopping. So we're gonna start out with the beets first because they take the longest. I kind of figure out what's gonna take the longest to cook and then start from the top. These take about 45 minutes to boil, and these are gonna go into my beetroot hummus. You can always just use canned beets, but I love to buy the whole organic beets because you get all this extra stuff. So I am just gonna throw these beets into water, and you just want them to be covered in water. And we just bring that to a boil, and then we just let them boil for about 45 minutes or until you can stick a fork into them easily. This is my compost bin, and I just kind of keep that out so I can throw away all my extras. So while this is working up to a boil, I have preheated the oven to 400, and I'm gonna get cracking on my sweet potatoes. I just eat a ton of sweet potatoes because I love them, and they're a really good carb. Potatoes are great too, but sweet potatoes just have more micronutrients. I try to get a variety. I just try to make these as uniform as possible, but I'm not perfect. The goal there is just that they cook the same through and through. Now we're going to season them. First I'll put a little toasted sesame seed oil on there. I don't really measure. I just kind of do it to what I think is good. Pretty good, fair amount of salt. And then whatever spices I'm feeling for the week. So I think I want cayenne. This stuff goes a long way. Lots of garlic powder. And at the end, I'll probably throw in some minced garlic and a bit of cumin. I love this stuff. And then I'll just mix that all together, make sure they're all well coated and well seasoned. For me, being a happy, healthy runner means making sure I get in those macronutrients. So, you know, adequate protein, lots of carbohydrates, and good healthy fats. But it also means doing what I can to really maximize those micronutrients. So the more colorful the food I eat, the more micronutrients I'm getting in. These sweet potatoes are going to go into my Buddha bowls. I just kind of sprinkle them everywhere. My salads, they'll also go into the tofu scramble. Next, I'm going to cook the quinoa, which takes about 15 minutes. I'm going to cook a cup of this, so I'll have it on hand. I'll end up sprinkling this into my salads. This will create the base of the Buddha bowl, and it'll also be the base of the lentils. I prefer quinoa to white rice. Since I can no longer have brown rice, quinoa has a lot more micronutrients, amino acids, and it is a complete protein. So I just like it better. Okay, on to the tofu. I've already drained it and kind of pressed it out. I don't have a tofu press, but I just do what I can. So half of this is gonna go into my tofu scramble, and the other half I'm gonna go ahead and marinate for the fried rice. I just want super spicy tofu chunks in the fried rice, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'll just put them in the bag. Garlic chili sauce, get a good amount of that in there. Some sriracha and some teriyaki sauce as well. And I just want to cover all of the tofu. Make sure all the tofu gets coated. And bam! We have some marinated tofu. This other tofu I'm just gonna crumble up and put into my tofu scramble, which we will move on to next. And this is simulating the egg consistency. We'll put some turmeric on there to turn it the right color, and I have this special salt that'll make it taste just like eggs. So the goal with my tofu scramble is put some tofu in there and then load it up with as many veggies as I possibly can. So I usually just put my beet greens in there, some bell pepper and broccoli, and whatever I have on hand that week, this is what I bought this week, so that's what's going in there. Right now, I'm just gonna chop everything up and put it in my container. I'll mix all this up, and then I'll just take out as much as I want that morning of and heat it up. We don't have a microwave, so it's just as easy to not cook it right now and save it for when I do need to cook it. So the fried rice is gonna be very similar to the tofu scramble. I'm just gonna put in 2 different types of bell peppers, some sweet peas, and carrots. That's the difference, and then that will be topped with a peanut butter teriyaki sriracha sauce. I'm only gonna put in half of each color of bell pepper, and then the rest I'm gonna save, and that'll just be chopped and ready to go for whenever I want to use it, probably in the Buddha bowls. I just like to have chopped vegetables on hand during the week in case I need them. So I opened up this huge thing of crushed tomato. We just used that for the lentil masala, and now I'm going to use it to make both the pasta sauce for our pasta dish later this week and the pizza sauce as well. It's gonna be the same sauce, I just am gonna have a big vat of it. So I'm gonna start with, I'd say like 3 or 4 cups of spinach. I finish off the parsley, some crushed red pepper. If you didn't catch on, I really like my food spicy. For me, spices are really what makes the difference in my food. I feel like with meal prepping, if you prep it out and then you eat the same darn thing every single day, you're just tired of that food or that meal and you never want to eat it again. So what I try to do is prep out as much as I can, but still allow some options in my day. So these dinners will be prepped, they'll be ready to go. But if, say, I'm not feeling a Buddha bowl tomorrow night, I can say, okay, I think I'm gonna have the pasta dish instead. It's not like I've cooked out 7 different chicken dinners and they all have a side of rice and spinach. That just is not fun, in my opinion. Some fresh basil off of the plant. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So there you go. It's a pretty hearty looking pasta sauce with lots of spinach in it, and I will pour this over whole wheat pasta and top it with maybe some soy riso. Sometimes I like that. Oftentimes I'll just put a ton of different beans in there for a good protein source, and then sprinkle some nutritional yeast on top and have that for dinner. With the pizza, this will be the base, and then I put a ton of veggies on top. It's just basically like a big old veggie bruschetta. Tonight I'm gonna make the lentil masala, and we will enjoy that, and David will probably take that to work for lunch. This one's super easy, or at least my version is. I just put all the ingredients in the pan, let it simmer for 15 minutes, cover it, and then voila, I already have my quinoa cooked and I just finished cooking the rice. We have dinner. So that's a wrap on the meal prep. There are a lot of meals, but now I am set up for the rest of the week. I shouldn't have to do too much cooking or too much of anything else other than heating things up. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope you can use some of these recipes if you want, if they sound tasty. Understand that I'm not trying to recommend what you should eat in the week. These are just the things that I make and really enjoy. These are the staple meals that regularly make the rotation. These are the ones that I can eat consistently without getting tired of. They're so flavorful and they really fill me up. Y'all have a great week. Please like and subscribe this video if you did in fact like it and want to subscribe. I will see y'all next week, and happy trails. Ah! I guess that's what a full apron is for. I do not see you. Oh, that's the spice I was supposed to get. That's the spice I was supposed to get the other day. Forgot about that.